got booted out of my own podcast. My camera disconnected, my mic disconnected.
Oh man.
And they kicked me out. I'm like, what the heck's going on? Yeah. Oh crap! What would you think of the song, my sister Donna? What did you
I
think
mean,
of the song?
yeah, dude, it rocked. I have first time I've heard it through earphones, and it kicks. It sounded good.
Wait to hear the outro at the end. It's even better. Hello, Donna. Yeah, we're not starting off on a good foot. So this is only the second time I've used this platform. This is StreamYard. I've been using something else, and I decided to switch off to this. And last week didn't go too bad. This week we didn't start off real well, but whatever.
We're
It
getting
is what
there.
it is.
Absolutely.
So, I can't even tell if there's anybody on here other than Donna. One person's on. That's it.
That's okay.
Well, that's all right. We can chat amongst ourselves and Donna because Donna likes to talk. She's a big question asking person.
All right.
No, she's not.
Hey, that's all right. I'm the same way, you know. It all depends. It depends on what you're talking about, and I might ask questions or I might listen.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's my job to ask questions. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's I tip my cap to you, man, because like I'm not real big on these sorts of things. Like, not that I don't like it, but you know me, and I can't talk without swearing. I try real hard because it's disrespectful, but it's like sometimes it just comes out, and I'm like, oh boy. Hopefully that
So
don't affect nothing.
I have to ask you this question. Can you guess who my biggest swearer was that I've had on the show? In like, I don't even know. This is like show number 20 something. I don't know. But can you guess who my guest was that did the most swearing?
Oh, absolutely. I bet you. Yeah, Cindy. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. That lady, I tell you, she is like a sailor. That's me and her hit it off like that because of that. And I was like, man, I wish that when I was younger, I grew up with my grandmother a lot of the time, and I was like, man, I wish my grandma talked like that. I wouldn't have got smacked so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would have been great, man. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But
Oh yeah. Yeah, Cindy was and she's hysterical when she does it.
yeah.
Hi Kelly. Hi Anime. Yeah, she's hysterical because she's so well spoken and you don't expect it and then boom, here it comes.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's good too. You know what I mean? It's not just a random
Oh yeah.
coalition of cuss words. It's good. She's good with it. I like it.
So for us, they're cuss words. For her, they're sentence enhancers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's it.
She knows
Absolutely.
exactly where to use them.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
whenever she first opened up down there. We were amongst some of the first ones to get in, and didn't know anything about the place. Obviously, didn't know Cindy or anything like that at that point. And after a time or two, I was like, this is my kind of people, and then
yeah.
the place itself is just
Oh,
it's
love
great,
it.
and I mean, the work that she has done from the first time we went there to the last time we were there. She had Nick come up and do the floors, and she's doing walls, and I mean, by the time she's done, that place is going to be beautiful. I mean, it
Yep.
really is. So
Yep.
yeah, she's doing an awesome job down there, man. We love Cindy. We love the Ross House. We love the antique store. Just a really cool, unique thing. I just wish she had better parking, because I think that affects her a lot of the times
Yes.
for hosting publics and stuff like that. But besides that one little thing, everything else about that place just kicks.
Yep.
It's great.
We've been there. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 times. And we absolutely love going there because it is the cleanest. Hey, Joe, it is the cleanest space that you'll ever go to for an investigation.
Yeah, it
It's
really
clean,
is.
it's nice, it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
And we have yet to, well, I don't want to say it, but they're always very slow nights for us. We just never get anything. But all of our friends go and they get all this stuff. And I'm like, well, it must be us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, that's no shit either because it's the same. Like uh, the best experience that I had at the Ross house is I was there some years back with some of the guys from Bump in the Night, and we were in the basement at the antique store, and it was close to the holidays, and it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was a few of us still hanging in there. We weren't really getting much all night, and it was pretty slow. And somebody made the suggestion, hey, if somebody can activate that REM for us or whatever, we'll sing some Christmas carols. And it was like, okay, we got a hit. So we started to sing, and then it escalated. The song was over. I think it was Jingle Bells. And that was it. That
Wow.
literally was it.
Just took
And
off.
yep. And then eventually I was like, okay, I'm whooped, it's time to go to bed. And things just kept going for us that night, so I stayed up. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Like there's sometimes you go in there and it's quiet as a mouse, and then there's other times to where it's off the chain. And they have their favorites, I guess, and they let that be known.
They certainly do. But that doesn't ever stop us from going back. I mean, we will continue
No.
to go back. Number one, we love the house, but we love Cindy, and we'll do anything to support her. So we will continue to go.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, not to mention it's very reasonable in the
Mhm.
scape of pricing and stuff throughout locations. And you guys know yins are all over the place this year, and yins were all over the place last year. And you, you really, I mean, I know you guys know, like, it's expensive, and to get a
Yeah,
nice place like you say that's clean and welcoming for that price. I don't know what it is now, but $300-400, something like that. Uh,
yeah,
I mean, that's crazy good. And if you got a
it
few
is.
people to split that, it's awesome, and you really
Yeah,
can't beat it.
yeah.
But
I don't think I'm taking my sister there anymore because she thinks it's her. She's gone every time, and we've never had anything. So next time I'm leaving her at home.
oh man, hey, yeah, well, I don't know about that, but you never can tell. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, that's definitely possible.
So
How
I just
does that say? How did
how did
Hallowvue
hell
Paranormal get its
get
name?
his name?
Uh so it's actually there's a road, there's a little town over by us called Big Beaver, Pennsylvania, and I lived there for quite a while. It was actually Caitlin's hometown, and I lived out there for quite a while. I was a volunteer fireman for many years, EMT out that way.
I
And
did not know that.
yeah, I did that for a long time before I was able to grow this, big old scruffy beard here. But there's a lot of stuff in Big Beaver, and I know I had talked with you guys about this October if we have opportunity to get down to the railroad.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that here in a second about the Lady in White. But there's a back country road down there called Hallowvue Road, but it's HO instead of HA. And I started doing this a while ago, and my buddy Joe Moxon, he invited me out with him and his group, Digital Paranormal Investigations. And I always thought about, like, okay, I'm going to put a team together of my own, and not so much because I wanted to be the big honcho or anything like that, but I just wanted to do more. And a lot of times people can't get out, can't do things, whatever. But so we started getting some people together. Mike and Elise, I've known them for years. I've known them since they were kids. They were friends with my younger brother. So we kind of just formed together, and I'm like, man, what are we going to call this? Like, I have no idea. And you're bouncing things around, this and that. I was down there. Sometimes this sounds kind of weird, but we would go down there and just take pictures of the trains as they were coming past, because you can get really up close and personal, and it's neat to see the different cars and honestly some of the graffiti. And I seen that sign and I was like, Hallowvue. And I'm like, I don't know what it was, but something just clicked for that name. And I wanted to switch it up a little bit, just to kind of unique it to our own little thing. And yeah, so I mean, quite honestly, short answer to that is we named the group after a road. That's pretty much the extent of it. But that road is actually, Caitlin grew up on that road. So she lived on Hallowvue Road her entire life, like her whole childhood. So, and then me and her ended up meeting after, I formed the group, which was crazy. We met at Hallowvue Manor. And so it was just weird how everything came together. But yeah, it's not really that cool of a story, but it's neat for us because it's something that we hold close. And we love our little area. I know you guys are a Pittsburgh crew as well, and it's just special. This area is special and it's really neat. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty much how that came about.
I think that's pretty cool because at least you have a story behind it. We just had no clue, and I'm like, well, we live in Verona, so we're the Verona Ghost Chasers.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no story behind it other than just being lazy and just picking a name, right? And I don't regret it because it's worked out well for us, and it's just the way it was supposed to be, right? I mean,
yeah, and I think it's cool. Like I dig the Ghost Chasers thing. Like sometimes I look back on it and I'm like, especially in the field today. And it's a lot different sitting here in 2026 than it was in 2022 when we got rolling. But still, like everything, and it's like everything is paranormal. You got A and B paranormal. You got 1, 2, 3 paranormal. You got this and that. And I'm not hating on that or anything of that, obviously, because we carry the same title. But sometimes I'm like you guys got a cool ass name. And then you got people like, Mike and them from Tennessee, the Wraith Chasers, and you got different, like Ken and Sue and Freighter, the Celestial Oddities, Paraseekers. Like there's some neat names out there, and it's like I dig it. But I mean, you know what? At the end of the day, the name is the name. It's more of the people that you get in with you and the experiences that you get to have that really make it. So, but I mean, I've been so lucky, with everything and just getting to meet the people that I met and hang out with the people like you guys. And obviously, Megan, Brian, Mike, and Elise, I knew them personally before, but so many awesome people that we have met outside of our team. And it's just like, it brings it into perspective for me a lot of the times because, I've had a chip on my shoulder in the past and I learned, and I see that still today with some people. And it makes me feel better about the path that we're on now compared to the path that we were on. And that's all to do with me, man. And I learned so much and got so much respect for you guys and for so many other people. Like losing Brian, and you guys lost him the same way that we did. It really brought so much shit into perspective for me. Like, this isn't taps, man. This isn't TV network stuff. Like these are friends. These are real people. And these are people that you could call on a Tuesday evening. Like, dude, I need a ride, or, can I borrow $20 or whatever the case may be. And it's like, that's the coolest thing in the world. Like you have this fascination, this desire to explore buildings and record evidence and document the paranormal, but yet you build such a bond, man, with those people, and it's cool, and it's unlike anything I ever did, It really is.
And I think that some of this is the natural progression of way things work. That maybe when you guys started, that wasn't the norm. People would like, oh, I do this, and I'm guarding these secrets of my life, and I'm not going to show anybody else what I do, and I don't want to hang out with anybody else. And there was a lot of that then, right? And when we started this, Deb and I are like, look, there's going to be a lot of things that we want to do that we cannot do alone. Like we will never go to Tala, the two of us, right? We need people to go with, right?
Yeah,
We
right.
need to meet people. We need to make friends. We need to find out what they're about. And we're both pretty good judges of people, and we pick like-minded people, right? Or I don't want to say we pick. We choose to be with those kind of people. And Jennifer is on here from 27 Spirits, her and Damien.
Hey, Jen.
Love those guys. Absolutely. You guys, those guys, we have Steel City Paranormal. We've just started going out with them. Love those guys. It's Zach Meekins,
Oh,
Zach
yes.
and Tammy. Those
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
awesome.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
you just want to surround yourself with like-minded people because that's going to make your entire trip so much better.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
and I just think it was so much different, and you see it changing a lot now. More people are collabing, and really, that's the only way you're going to, because the prices for this stuff is just going through the roof, right?
Yeah. Yes, it
So
is.
you might as well be with somebody that you want to be with to go and do this stuff. And we've done. I can't even tell you how many collabs we've done with you guys already, and then we've got like 3 more coming up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
without that relationship, we're not doing these things. I mean, me and Deb, we're not going to a lot of these places. And this year, we have scheduled one investigation ourselves out of like 18 or 20 investigations.
Yeah, I know.
Just
That's
Justin and Travis from Southern Ohio. We just went out to Ohio and hung with them guys. Same way. These guys are really damn good people. They're damn good investigators, and they're people we want to spend our time with. And that brings all of it together.
yeah. And that's that hits the nail on the head because so I mean you guys know I'm as far as the collabing goes, we're pretty new to that. But when we first started out, there was, a few people that we worked with, but we really booked everything ourselves. And a lot of that financial burden, like I have talked to Deb before in the past, like that fell on me. I come January, I would drop, $2,000, $2,500 on deposits on dates for the whole year. And then as the year progressed, and the dates approached, people, oh, hey, man, I'm sorry, I can't make it, or this or that. So it was like, okay, I end up paying, close to or damn close to full amount for what me and Katie to go or whatever the case is. And that's why, this year I said, I'm not doing that because I'm not going to, not that the money was wasted. The money wasn't wasted, but it, as far as like trying to have that mindset of okay, this is just going to be a Hallowvue investigation. We're not going to have anybody. It's just going to be us guys. I'm going to be quite honest with you. Not to like no shots at anybody on our crew or anything like that, but it's kind of boring. I mean, you know what I mean? Like we get out with you guys and we have a few different people there. It's like different personalities, different everything, and it lights everything up. And like you were talking about with the Ross House, they like certain people, they don't. Well, okay, you're bringing in different people from different crews, and it could open up the floodgates, man, and you could get something great. Or and another thing is like I've learned stuff from you guys. I've learned stuff from Zach and Bill and Tammy and all those guys. I've learned an incredible amount of stuff from Joe. if you don't open your mind to that, then you lose all of that knowledge that you would have never gained, man. Like it's crazy. It really is.
I agree with you 1,000,000%. And that's the other thing about it is you get to see like okay, so you and your group, you guys all do things the same way. And you do same way every time,
Right.
right? And we for the most part do things the same way every time. But you go out with somebody new and you're like, whoa, what the hell did they just do?
Yeah. Like, dude,
Let me
that's
tell me about
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that
Absolutely.
it only adds to your arsenal, right? And you might be able to say, "Oh, I'm not doing that," or "Yes, I am doing that." It
Yeah.
it just benefits you so much to go out there and get out there with new people and see what it's about.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the way that's where we're at. I like I said, I ran a lot before bumping the night disbanded and all of that stuff happened with those guys. I used to go out with them all the time. And I because of that, I got the opportunity to investigate with Freighter Crow, who runs Ken and Sue's group. And I mean,
Mhm,
that dude, he's so intelligent and so outside the box on things. And
mhm.
I never experienced that before. And to be honest, I've never experienced anybody like him other than him, so it's really cool. And it's like I might not have had that opportunity if I thought differently. So
Yep.
the way that it progressed. Now Ken and Sue, I know them from way back in the day. Like they were the bosses, man, at Hillvue. I mean, they ran the place. Like
Yeah.
when I think about Hillvue prior to like 2022, 2021, like Ken and Sue were up there all the time.
Yeah.
And you just got used to seeing them. And I never realized how close they lived. Like that they were like that local,
Yeah.
Um, and man, like you talk about two people there that are just awesome. Like they came up to get well, you guys were up there. They came up to Gettysburg with us last year, and
Yep.
we just had such a good time. Didn't really get to investigate a whole lot because it's asshole to elbow.
Yeah.
For the bash, like everywhere you
Yep.
go, it's just polluted. But I know
Yeah.
you guys hung back and stayed the day after or a
Yeah.
couple days after, and you were
Yeah.
able to check some stuff out and really get a good feel for that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I think we've been to Gettysburg like 5 times now. We were
it's
just there not
addicting.
too long ago. I mean, we love Gettysburg and it's only like 3 hours away. So like you could
Yeah,
go anytime,
yeah.
anytime.
It is. It's different up there, man. And like, if I don't know whoever's watching right now, like if you guys have never been up there to check out the battlefield, like the bash is great. Don't get me wrong; it's a good time and all that stuff. But just to go up and check the town out and wander through the battlefield and
Yeah.
check out, Devil's Den and Little Round Top and stuff like that. It's just it's got a vibe all of its own,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yep.
it's not necessarily bad. I don't want to say it's a bad vibe, but it's like an interesting vibe. Like if you're a visionary and you can look at the field and try to create in your mind, like I got addicted to it. Like, hey, he got sick of me talking about Gettysburg because that's all I would talk about. Like
It,
Gettysburg, 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 Gettysburg. She's like, "Will you shut the hell up about Gettysburg, man?" You
it's
know what I'm saying?
Gettysburg.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah.
We didn't get a table this year. I feel bad because I love Pam and I love the show, but you know, my thing was like last year when we were up there, man, it was killing me to sit at that table like
Yeah.
every day for that amount of time when you're
Yeah.
in Gettysburg because there's so much shit you want to do and so many things you want to check out. And not to mention like your butt cheeks get sore, but um,
Oh,
sitting there. But I just, man, I definitely want to go back and like for the bash too and see everybody. I know
yeah.
Jen and Corey's talking up there this year, so I want to check that out. There's going to be a lot of good people up there talking and hanging out, but I just don't know like about sitting there every single day. That's tough, and
It's
and
tough.
I know people. Some people love that kind of stuff, and they love talking and they love all that stuff like that. But I don't know this year. Like like I told Katie, I said I really wanted to. What's up, Damien?
What's up, buddy?
That's right, absolutely. But I
uh,
wanted to do more investigating and less shows
yeah,
this year, and so far so good on that.
yeah,
Couple weeks
yeah.
we're going to be going to FCI Con 6, which I think Damien and Jen are going to be down there, and I forget. I think Zach and them are going to be down there, and the Alame Paranormal. I think I seen that they were going to be down there. So there's some people that we haven't met yet that we are looking forward to meeting, and then there's some people that we're just looking forward to seeing again. And that's the cool thing about the shows. It's just kind of getting to hang out with people and see people that you haven't seen, or meet somebody that you haven't met, and kind of see if you click or if you don't click, or whatever the case may be. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're definitely looking forward to FCI 6 and all the festivities that come along with that. That's going to be a great time.
We kind of dropped the ball this year. We did not plan for any of these big cons. So we're not going to be at any of them. We're going to be at the Creep and Real, obviously. We're doing a live podcast from there, and they hooked me up with all these interviews for all the big people that are going to be there.
I
And I'm
seen
like,
that.
holy crap, that's really cool.
It's awesome, man. That's going to be sick.
But we just didn't do the pardon me.
Oh yeah,
We didn't do the big cons this year. We just kind of I don't know what happened, but we're going to try to plan better for next year. But it's okay. I mean, we've got stuff planned. We're going back to Gettysburg. We're going to the Rose Farm. We'll be staying on the battlefield at the Rose Farm.
that's awesome.
We were
Yes,
invited with Pennsylvania After Dark. We have not met them, but they invited us. And I'm like, that's awesome. Thank you for inviting us. She's like, oh, no, we hear you guys are awesome and we want you to come. And I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah,
We're in.
absolutely. That's great. I mean, and you know what though? Like one thing I will say is you guys have came in and really, in my personal opinion, made a great impression on everybody. Like there's nobody that I have ever talked to that was like, oh man, Verona Ghost, they're a bunch of souls or anything like everybody's always like, man, those guys are great. You know what I mean? And
Well,
so, I
hang
take
around. You'll run into a couple. Hang around.
there's always a couple
Yeah.
bad peas in the bundle, man. But you'll
Yeah.
have that. You'll have that. But the thing that sticks out in my mind the most was Brian, and the things that he had to say. Because that's really what got me. And he was such a genuine dude. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
there was no baloney, there was no fakeness
Yep.
to brother Brian, man. And I'm just, I can't believe it's been a year already.
Yeah.
It's sad, man, but at the end of the day, I'm so blessed. Like I'm so happy that we all like we're all still here for, like, it's so cool with his parents and
Yeah.
with Meg and with everybody. Like we're all still like together, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he would absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that really started to break me of those habits. He was like, dude, think about like what you're, just, and then he would explain something to me, and I'd, yeah, you know what, dude? Like, yeah, dude. All right, all right, yeah, you're right, and sometimes you need somebody like that to, you know,
All right.
remind you of,
I'm going to try to do something, and bear with me for 1 second here
yeah,
in case I really screw it up. Um, I wanted to do this earlier, and I just told you I was watching a darn movie and I didn't get into it. Um, uh, like I said, I just don't know how to do this. Overlay logo. I
trial
don't
and
want to
error.
overlay. I don't want an overlay. I don't want to create a background. I just want to put a picture in. Gee whiz. Um, wow. That's not it. Okay, well, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. Let me try this way. That's a new layout. That's not what I want. Oh, okay. Well, I was just gonna put up a picture of Brian, and I'm not smart enough to do this, but because I mean, it's inevitable. We're gonna talk about Brian. Um, number one, because Saturday is the anniversary of his passing, and we're all getting together. Us, you guys, Brian's mom and dad, and Megan. We're all going to be at the Octagon,
Yeah.
and that happens to be the very first place that I met Brian. I think you were supposed to come that night, and you
Yep.
couldn't make it. And so Brian and Megan are like, "Yeah, we'll go," and they drove, and they got there like at 11 o'clock at night. So that was our
Yeah.
first introduction to them, and
Yeah.
it was kind of crazy way to meet somebody, and we just really hit it off with both of them, and we just kept in touch, and things just they went to the Shanley with us. Um, I can't think of they went somewhere else with us. Brian came to Pittsburgh one time. I have a friend that owns an automobile shop, and up above it is this huge area, and it's haunted. And like we can use it as our training grounds. Like if I've got somebody new, we can just go investigate, and we can let them try things, and work with spirits that aren't going to mess with them. And so
Right.
Brian and his daughter drove here and went to that investigation with us. And then when we came home at like 2 o'clock in the morning, they came back with us, hung out with us for the night. Uh, that dude could sleep, man. That dude could sleep anytime and
Anywhere.
anywhere.
Anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah. I mean the first time that he came to HillCon, well, I mean, so we met Brian and well first we met Megan first at the Conneaut show back in like 2022 or somewhere in that neck of the woods. And she was she was with Savage Energy and they, were attending the same show and we were shooting the shit, talking this, that, and the third. Things happened the way that things happen, and we got acquainted with Meg, and she ended up joining up with us for a little while there. But as soon as she got as soon as we voted her in, because that's kind of how we do it. So I just don't say, "Oh, you're in, you're out. This one's in it." Like it's very unanimous. Like, okay, whoever's active with us, I'll call a vote. And it's usually a Facebook message group where I say, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, if we want to put somebody in. Literally, as soon as we voted Megan in, I messaged her and I was like, hey, what's up with that dude that was sitting down at your table? Because I didn't know who he was. And she's like, oh, that's Brian. I said, yeah, he seems different, man. I said, is he like looking to do some investigating or what? She's like, you know what? He probably would, he probably would be down for that. And we got to talking, and he ended up joining up with us. And at that point in time, man, life was crazy. As far as investigating goes, we weren't
run out tomorrow
to do a lot. We weren't doing as much as I would have liked to do, but he did come to the shows, and he did come every single place that we were. The dude was dedicated as hell to everything and everybody. Like if he told you he was coming, he was coming.
Yep.
Through hell or high water, man. But he would fall asleep at the table. I would be like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then somebody would come up and start talking to us, and he would wake up, he'd chime in, he'd say whatever, talk about whatever you're talking about, and then you turn back around and ask him something, and he's right back out, man. I was like, holy cow, this dude can sleep on a spaceship. Like, it was crazy.
So we went to Conneaut, and you guys were all there, and he was sitting there, sound asleep with his head in his hands
Yeah,
on the table. And I'm
yeah,
like, is he okay? Like, oh yeah, he's just taking a nap.
yeah, dude. It was nuts. It was nuts. When like just absolutely crazy. How I don't know. Like I can sleep, but to fall asleep sitting on a hard ass chair in a big giant conference hall with 150 people in there talking, like
Yeah,
that's just a whole different thing there,
yeah.
man. But
He fell asleep at the Shanley. There was a bunch of chairs just lined up against the wall, and he plops down on the chair, and the next thing you know, he's laying over, and and I'm like, what is that? And Megan's like, oh, that's just him snoring. I'm like, oh, I thought it was a demon.
yeah, dude. Oh, funny story about snoring, man. We were at Ross' house actually, and we had Dale come with us, Dale Rogers from Hillview, and we were down in the basement, and Dale was upstairs, and I don't know what we were doing. I think we might have been playing around with a Ouija board, honestly. Me and Elise were. Um, and you heard you heard this vibrating, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like we turned the furnace off. You know what I mean? Because we wanted it to be somewhat quiet. And here I was freaking Dale upstairs, dude, just sawing logs. Like it was craziness. I was like, I snore. You know what I mean? Like I'm fat and I snore, but holy cow, dude, that was crazy. Crazy stuff.
Shoot. Yeah.
But no, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I hope we have good weather. I did see
supposed to rain all weekend.
I know, and that's got me second guessing the tent thing. I don't know, like I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but
there's an Econo Lodge that the rooms are like $79, and it's
yeah,
like right up the street. So I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm going to set the tent up and hope it doesn't rain, but probably just make the reservation because for $79, it's not worth playing in the mud.
right. Yeah, and the last time we were down there with Brian and his parents came, it stormed like crazy, crazy. And it's weird because it's like, oh, we're heading back, and it's like there's storms in the forecast. Like, I don't know, something about the Octagon when there's lightning and thunder outside. It's wild. It's an interesting place just to begin with, let alone when you have that sort of like electrical charge in the air, And I mean, I'm so pumped for Meg to use that box, like that that Fent box she got. Like that is. That's just gonna be it's gonna be awesome, but I'm a big baby sometimes, and I'm gonna try not to get teary eyed, man, because I just that's gonna be so cool. It's gonna be so cool. He did a bang.
And he's gonna come through. He's gonna come through on that box first. He is.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? That's gonna be awesome. It's gonna it's obviously it's gonna be a bummer in some regards, but it's gonna be so cool, man. It really is.
Well, we're doing our part to keep his memory going, and I think that's very important because he was important to us. So you got to keep that going, and I wanted to reach out, and I'll just ask you now. I've been thinking about this in my head. We need to do some type of a little memorial. If we can get a picture framed, and I think we should leave it at the Octagon and see if Tommy would let us leave it there. Because he loved the Octagon.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of his favorite places to go to. And I really think that we should do like a little something for him.
Yeah.
Ask Tommy if they would leave it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
And when we're done, I'll reach out to Megan because I think that obviously she needs to be involved in this decision as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of pictures of him. I'm sure she has more.
Oh, she's got tons.
He wasn't a person that he wanted to be in a picture all the time, but if you asked him, he would get in it. So I'm sure she's got some pictures, and we can figure something out.
Yeah.
but I just think it's the right thing to do, and the way he felt about that place, and you know, I just think it's something we ought to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good idea, especially there. I mean,
Yeah.
that was man, I know him and Meg did that video and they threw it up on our TikTok and it got like, dude, it was crazy. It was like 40 some thousand likes and all these
Wow.
comments and stuff. I was like, that was just like, again, that was the genuine nature of Brian. Like anybody could relate with that dude. And
Yep.
as long as you didn't like Brian was he was a rough looking dude. Like he looked like the type of dude that would like beat you up or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But as soon as you talked to him, man, you were like, this dude's
That's
like,
totally not him.
yeah,
The gentle giant. Yeah.
exactly. But
Yep. The gentle giant.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely relatable.
Yeah.
So,
No, really, really good guy, and he's helped our friendship grow.
oh,
I mean, if
absolutely,
it
one
wasn't for
100%.
him, you and I would not be where we are today. I mean, and Meg too.
100%.
I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Megan either. It
Right.
was the two of them, but when Brian passed, everything really came into focus, and really our relationship as teams, but as people, got much stronger.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. And I thank them for that, man, because you know what I'm saying? Like I wish it was a different wake up,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
but I'm grateful for it. And um I'm so great. I'm grateful for all of this stuff. Like I said earlier, when I got started with this, man, just a quick story. So everybody has something that gets them into the paranormal. So I was a teenager in the mid 90s. Ryan and Heather were just bringing out Paranormal State. It was just getting aired on TV. And then you had the Taps guys who were just starting to get aired on sci-fi. So you had that aspect of it. That obviously caught my eye. Well, I spent a lot of my late teenage years and a lot of my life with my grandmother. She passed away when I was 17, and I lived in her house, by myself as a 17-year-old kid for a while, as long as I could. And dude, the craziest thing, like, she died November 4th. It was like a week later. It was cold outside. Wind was blowing. It was like a snowy, cold night, man. And I was sleeping in what used to be her bedroom. Well, her old dresser was one of those old fashioned dressers, and it had the big mirror. Okay. And I'm laying in the bed facing the mirror. And I woke up in the middle of the night looking in this mirror, man. And I see my grandmother standing behind me, like with her arms folded like this, with like this smile, like, and I'm like, obviously it scared the shit out of me because
yeah,
of what just happened, So first instinct, just like anybody else, what do? Roll over, right? And see,
yeah.
like, I
What's
rolled
going
it,
on?
and it was like, I mean, I know we've all seen some different types of apparitions, and there's many different types out there, but this wasn't anything like that. It looked like she was standing there in the flesh. And my one buddy, his nickname's Fish. My buddy Fish was sleeping out on the couch, and dude, I jumped up. I ran. This was, when I was younger, we lived in a trailer court out behind Freedom, so it was a mobile home. I ran down this hallway straight to the living room, and I'm sitting in this chair, like, my palms are sweaty. I'm breathing heavy. He's looking at me. He's like, "Are you having a heart attack?" Like, I'm like, "Dude, you're never gonna believe me." I said, "I just seen Graham back there," and he's like, "Nah, dude, you were just sleeping, like, and you had a dream or something." I'm like, "No, dude, I rolled over and I seen it, and it was like she was standing right there." And like I said, I was 17, and that instance, it like lit a fire under my ass when it came. But like, that was 2004, and this field really wasn't here. I mean, it was,
Yeah,
but
but
it
not like this. Nah.
no, you know what I mean? Like, there was Me and a couple of my buddies, when we started out back then, we had a tape recorder with a little microphone that came off with
Yeah,
a cassette tape, and we would
yeah,
try to do EVP sessions with that. And we would play with Ouija boards or use a candle, and try to get like direction of flame, like early methods that we knew. Um, and then fast forward, then I had kids and was working crazy hours and 2, 3 jobs, life. And we really didn't get to dive back into it hard, I would say, until about 2019, 2018, something like that. But the difference in the times, and especially compared to today, like I can't even keep up. Every time I look on or I watch someone's live or a recording of someone, I usually watch recordings of lives because I'm not available when they're on or something like that.
yeah,
But it's like, dude, look at this thing. Like that thing Zach just got. It's like a Ouija board that where you move your hand across. Did you see that thing?
yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that is like, think about that in 2004. You know what I mean? Like, what? Like,
Nope.
it just crazy how this is all transpired and changed.
Yeah,
And I struggle to keep up with it, both financially and just collectively, because every
yeah,
time you turn around, you got intuitive people out there like Lauren and just that there's so many, Jeff, obviously,
yeah,
creating this stuff that is just mind boggling.
yeah.
And
It is.
not to mention the advent of apps and digital technology, like
Yeah.
stuff like that with word banks and screens. We've come a
Now
long way.
you you cannot beat this little guy right here. Your
That's
your
yeah,
your digital recorder. That's if I
yeah,
got nothing else, this is the one thing you got to have, right?
yeah, and that's what I learned from Joe. Joe, we would go through Hillvue, or we would go through whatever place we were or whatever, and he would do an EVP session in like every room. And he's got 2 of those DR60 recorders. Okay. And I know some people love them, some people don't, you know what I mean? But me personally, if you know how to use it correctly and you have a welcoming sense about you, like I have,
Yep.
I call Joe the EVP master, and a lot of people haven't got to experience that, but like just some of the stuff that he has gotten with that thing, and you look at it, it's a 20, 30-year-old recorder. It's obviously popular as hell because of TV, but in hindsight, that one you have right there, or the one that you order off of eBay for $10.99 or whatever,
Yeah.
essentially is going to do the same thing. And that's like the most, in my opinion, solidifiable evidence
Yeah.
that you can get.
Yep.
Maybe besides a thermal cam, I think thermals are great. I think that it really gives you an idea for the changes of the environment through a
Yeah.
different lens.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's just crazy how far we've come, and I'm excited and nervous to see what happens. I mean, just about all the network shows are gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Besides our buddy Zach, I think he still got a deal.
And everybody blames Zach for everybody else being gone.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. I can't. I
But it's
can't
all the
say.
people with TV shows that say it was Zach. So, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck and it smells like a duck, it's
Yeah.
probably a rabbit.
That,
I don't
that's that's right. And you know what? Like, I don't mean to be insensitive or anything like that, but I really don't care. You know what I
know. I
mean?
don't either.
Because if you tune into, like, say, Jason Hawes YouTube now, and watch some, it's so cool because there's no
Yeah.
network crap. There's no, like, it's just him doing the
Yep.
same things that we do and recording it the same way, and it brings it into perspective.
And I feel like it's probably a little more authentic
Oh
because
yeah,
he doesn't need the TV ratings to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Now we watch I call them young kids. They're not kids.
Oh, Sam and Colby. Is that
No,
the
not
ones?
them. The group of four, the three guys and a girl.
Oh, Project.
Dude,
Is that Project Fear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we watch them. They're entertaining. I like them. I think they're a little over the top, but I do enjoy watching them. Um, so this is totally off. It kind of goes with it. But when we were at Broadwell Funeral Home last week, I always give everybody. I always razz them about, dude. You know, we're sitting at Broadwell, and like the night is over. It's 3 a.m. We're wrapping up. Nobody's recording. We're just sitting like in the sitting room, and we're just talking and hanging out. And there was a flashlight, a mag light that we put on the mantle hours ago, and it sat there all night. It would come on and off when we asked. You know, it'd interact with us. This light had been there, and it hadn't been on for 2 hours. And all of a sudden, at like 10 after 3, poof, the light comes on. And we're all sitting there in the dark, so we all look at the light and we're like, oh, thank you. As we're looking at that light rolls across the mantle about 8 inches, stops, comes back about halfway and stops again. And we are like, what? We were all like, you know, so it was genuine. So, okay, I got to give people a little bit of a break on that. But when that happened, obviously it caught all of our attention because the light came on. And we sat there and watched it. And when this thing rolled and then it rolled back and stopped, none of us moved. We were just like, what in the hell just happened? And so after we gathered ourselves, like we all got chicken skin immediately. We were like, what just went on? I get up and I walk over there and I'm looking at it. There's nothing on there moved except for the flashlight. There was no way for it to roll. It hadn't moved all night. Nobody moved anything around it. Explain that, right? So we all kind of freaked out about it, but it was very authentic and it was just like blew our minds. And I'm like, and I just shut my damn camera off. So, you know, we're like, hey, can you turn that light off? Poof, the light goes off.
Yeah.
What? Can you move that light again? Can you do that? We tried for 45 minutes.
Yep. I was just going to tell you, there goes your capo.
We tried for 45 minutes to convince them to move that light again.
Dang. Again. Yeah, man.
You go, girl.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes again. Look. That's crazy.
Hi, Molly. How you doing? Yep. Like 3 times right in a row.
That's like what, 6 so far?
Yeah, I mean, she just keeps firing it off. I don't know. And again, this is a block wall behind me, and it's underground. There it goes again, and there's nothing I can do in this room to make that move.
That's crazy.
You could go outside and beat on the house.
Yeah, hey, look, I'm telling you, man. She's like, yep, I'm here. I'm hanging out. I'm with you guys.
When we're done with the podcast, if I don't turn it off and I forget and I go to work, tomorrow Deb will text me at work and she'll be like, you didn't turn the cat balls off. I'm like, huh? She's like, yeah, the cat balls are going off. And she'll go sit upstairs the rest of the day until I get home. She's like, I am not going down there while those cat balls are down there. There goes again.
Yeah.
She is like,
oh, and that's Molly. She's never done that.
Molly doesn't really do that. She'll do it once in a while, but she is just like, they all seem to take turns.
That's crazy.
Yes, Damien, she knows you're watching.
It was
Damien
and Tommy the last time.
Yeah, well, it's usually her, or the last time it was Tommy. He did it like 10 or 12 times. But she's usually, and Tommy doesn't have a ball today because I didn't bring it back. And she usually just sits there, and every once in a while you'll see a flash. But
that's
Deb
crazy.
sent me a video one day when I was at work. All 3 of them was going at the same time.
Wow, that's wild. Yeah, well, hey, tell her thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. You know, that's cool, man. Like, you know, it gets to show that aspect of it as well. That's cool as hell.
Just every once in a while, they want to be heard and seen. So I'm good with it.
The cat ball things, I mean, well, The coolest cat ball story I got, man, is Hillview Manor, second floor nurses station, where the big ass picture of Jimmy and Lester is. We were hanging out up there, and we laid a bunch of cat balls out, and I put the Polaroid out to try to. I don't know if you ever heard the story about the guy who left the Polaroid sit there, and he came back, and there was a picture hanging out the front, like somebody actually. Yeah, dude. So I didn't witness it, but I heard the story from a few different people. Apparently he put the Polaroid camera down on the nurse's station and went walking down the hallway to, look after some sort of sound or something that got his attention. And when he came back up, there was a freaking picture hanging out of the front of the Polaroid. Somebody pushed the button. So we was up there one night. It was a public. We usually try to do the 12 to 3 because people will, tinker out a little bit by that time. It's a lot quieter, but we were up there, and I always give him a smoke because that's what he always wanted, was a cigarette. And we had some cat balls, and Mike was like, dude, I smell weed. And I'm like, I don't think there's anybody up here with us. So he's like going and investigating this smell that he smelt. And I started following after him. This cat ball, it lit up, but it rolled off of the nurse's station onto the floor. And obviously from that height, it did a couple bounces and like started rolling down the hallway.
Oh, crap. That
was one of the coolest cat ball things that I've ever seen firsthand. That and at Wildwood, Mike's got some video of cat ball stuff up there, man. We were just getting ready to go to sleep. It was late. And first off, let me start off with this. We went to get something to eat. We come back, and the monitor for the DVR system was knocked over. It was laying on the floor. Like, I don't know how. I still to this day don't know how that happened. But I reviewed the tape, and unfortunately, I didn't have a camera pointing at the monitor. Like, you don't typically do that. But I wish I would have. So we were just getting ready to lay down and go to bed, get a couple hours before we headed back in the morning. And me and Katie were sleeping on the couch, and Mike and Elise were in that front room there. Where the mirror broke, where they had that big thing when the mirror got broke, it fell off the wall. But anyways, I put a monitor on us, or a camera on us, and it was like something grabbed the freaking Cat 5 cable and just yanked it from around the corner.
Whoa.
And you know me, I'm not an eccentric person. Like, I don't get fired up like when a REM pod goes off or you get a big hit on a K2. Like, I'm not one of these people that gets really, really excited about things like that. But I got to tell you what, man, when that happened, it was one of the few things I can say that actually like startled me when it comes to this stuff, because just about to, snooze out for a little bit. Because you know how we are. Like, I stay up all night and then drive home. I'm not all there in that regard. But that was really crazy for me, because the first and second time we did Wildwood, it was pretty quiet. And then we went back that time, and that happened. And I've never, like, I walked around the corner, I looked at the cable, trying to figure out, like, rationally, how this happened. Like, was it like, it wasn't like the camera just fell. I had it sitting on top of a case on one of those little baby tripods, and it wasn't like it fell off the case. Like, it was in the door jamb, like 3.5, 4 feet away. Something tugged on that, and I thought Mike or Elise was messing with us. So I went in there snoozing. He's sawing logs. I'm like, dude, that was just crazy. But
that's nuts.
Those two places are like Cat Ball City, man. I'm telling you, it was really, really something. And that's always cool. It's always cool to have good activity. It's always cool to have some sort of evidence. But Man, it's like I say, I think half of the great thing about this is just getting to experience the location, like you
Hmm.
were saying about walking around OSR and just checking it out, and checking some of these places out. Like it's just it's so cool,
Yeah.
just being in the buildings, and even if you don't get anything that night, just walking around and experiencing it, especially for, like institutions like that or jails, reading the stuff that's on the walls, like with your flash on your phone, like just kind of reading the stuff that these guys who are spending all this time writing on these walls, like so
It's all about the
crazy.
history of the location, man.
Yeah,
You can't once it's gone, you're really not gonna be able to bring that back. We look at Penhurst. If this is the end for Penhurst, that is really sad. And we're actually going this year because this was it. This is our one and only chance. But there's going to come a time in the next, maybe it's the next 20 years, that more of these old buildings are going to go away. If you don't
yeah,
have people like Adam Kimmel that want to buy these buildings and keep them going,
right,
it,
right.
it's going to stop. It's going to stop.
Yeah, and I mean, that is a great freaking example, because that dude, I tip my cap to Adam, not only for what he did for us and for Brian and all of that stuff, but just the genuine give a crap that he has for his
Yep.
buildings. Like, yeah, I'm sure you've seen some of the stuff he's been sharing about Fairfield. Like, the roof's almost done. He's
Yep.
got people like I don't know what you want to call it, occupying rooms. Like, I seen Chris has a room in there that he does his readings out of, and then I think it was at the Creepy Crates people maybe set
I,
up in there, or somebody. I don't want
I
to get
think
it
so.
mixed up, but
Yeah.
just he's doing that. Dude thinks way outside the box, and he's doing great things for all four of those locations now to really keep them relevant. And like, if you've seen the video he put on there, man, like bookings are like solid for
Yeah.
everything, for Madison, for Fairfield especially. And there's a reason for that, and I
Right.
know that not everybody gets along in this field. That's
Nope.
blatantly obvious. There's a lot of, paranormal politics, and there's a lot of bullshit, for lack of a better term. And
That's the perfect term.
it sucks, and it's horrible. And like I said, if I could say anything to anybody, if they're just coming into this or they're just getting started, it's going to be, you're no better than me. I'm no better than you. And none of us are going to be popular or famous. Okay. Like,
Nope. Never.
you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you're never going to make $1 million hunting ghosts. It's already been done. I feel like
Yep.
that ship has already sailed. So now you're just in it because you love it at this point. Like, because I've always said, and I've told Katie and I've told other people, like, all right, I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. I'm done. I'm not. And then next thing you know, it's like, well, we got like 8, 9, 10, whatever. And then it's like, okay, well, I thought you weren't doing it anymore. It's like, I don't know what it is. It's like an addiction. And,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, it's like, what else are you going to do? Like, some people like to go hunting. Some people like to go fishing, camping, concerts, whatever. I like all that stuff too, but I never feel better than being in a creepy environment with some good friends, in a historical environment with some good friends,
Yep.
trying to like, and it all, for me, it all stems back to that night when I seen my grandma. And I know that sounds funny, but it's the truth, man. Like, it's like, okay, I've never seen a full-bodied apparition besides that. I've never, like, I've seen stuff in pictures. We've caught some stuff on video that is like some sort of anomaly.
Yep.
Like, well, sort of like what you got, where was we at? Bel Air House a few months
Yeah.
ago. And
Yeah.
you got some interesting stuff that you caught there. And it's like stuff like that, maybe something a little bit more defined, but
Yeah.
nothing. I've never seen nothing yet to compare to what I seen that night. Oh, like 25
Well,
years
first of all,
ago.
yours was was personal, right? I mean, the fact that it was Graham and she was there, I mean, that's freaking personal, man. I don't care how many other things you see in the rest of your life. That's going to be the one that tops it all because there's no
Absolutely.
denying it, you know?
Absolutely. And she always took care of me. Like I don't want to like spill my guts out or nothing, but I didn't have the best upbringing in childhood. And there was a lot of things that went on. Like my whole family was musicians, and they were all country music musicians. And that's, my dad was a drummer. My grandfather was a steel guitar player. My uncle Mike was a guitar player. Like this is what my dad did in the 70s and 80s. He didn't work. He played music. They played music 7 nights a week. And
Wow.
we grew up very, very country. And when I was young, I hated it. I couldn't stand country music when I was young. I was like, I want to listen to Zeppelin. Like, I want to listen to the Beatles, Floyd. And I'm a huge Tom Petty fan. But as I got older, like I started to relate a lot more with the country music. And growing up in the 90s, I know as well as I do, country music was huge in the 90s. You know what I mean? And it continued on through that. But my grandma, she always made sure that I was keeping my head screwed on straight because I don't make the best decisions. We all know that. But she really kept me in line and wasn't afraid to, lay the smack down when it needed to be laid down, so that's why I kind of felt like she did that. Not to scare me, but to like tell me, look, I'm gone, but I ain't gone.
But I'm still here. Yeah, you better keep your shit straight or I'll straighten you out.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So
Yeah.
it's crazy, and I hear a lot of people talk about their first experiences and what got them into the field and this and that. And it's like, sometimes I'm a little hesitant on sharing that because it's so different. And it's like, it's almost sounds like something you would see on a movie or something like that. But it was, yeah, man, like to this day, I still get chills thinking about that. It's just crazy, man. Crazy.
I mean, it is. It's wild that shit can happen. And I mean,
Yeah.
and that's literally why we do this, right? We want stuff like that to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Think about that. Sit down. Most people are like, nope, nope. You're like, yeah. Come on.
Okay, I finally figured this out.
Oh, yeah. There he is.
I can't really zoom in, but that was I think there was like 8 or 9 of us at the Shanley that night.
That's so cool, man. God bless
It
you, brother.
took me forever to figure that out, but
That's
oh look,
awesome.
and he's still there.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's cool. I like it, man.
But
Yeah,
it took me 45 minutes to figure it out.
that's okay. It's there now, so everybody gets. If you never got to meet Brian, I'm sorry, because
You really missed out.
he was like I said, you look at him, he looks like somebody that should be riding a Harley Davidson or something. But in all reality, he was the coolest dude, the coolest,
Yep.
level-headed like dude, and he was a freaking veteran. And
Yep.
he did a lot of good things with his life, and
Yep.
that's cool, man. I like that. That's really
Just
neat.
the best dude ever. All right,
Yeah.
I've ignored some questions here, so let me throw some questions at you. Deborah wants to know where's your most memorable location you've investigated.
Hands down, Greenville Manor. I mean, there's no question. Out of everywhere that we've gone, we were lucky enough to get in there in 23, right before Katie and Marcus lost it. And we had absolutely crazy stuff. We have some of that stuff on YouTube. I'm horrible with content. I am not a good content creator.
Yeah, me neither.
But at that point, we had a much bigger team, and there was, we had a lot of people. We had a lot of experiences there. I mean, it was January 14th. It was about 11:30 at night. It was probably -10 outside. We were down in the cellar, and Marcus was hanging out with us. And we had the mail meter, but we had so I typically set up, well, I did back then, those little thermometers that you put out in your yard that have like a little base, and then there's 2 probes. You can set one here and set one there.
Oh yeah.
We were monitoring the body storage room because there was claims of temperature increases in the basement. We were getting readings of over 100 degrees. And I mean, at first I thought it was equipment malfunctioning because I would put my hand up and I couldn't feel no heat. I'm like, I don't know what was causing this, but for every piece of equipment to malfunction like that, it's kind of, I don't know, maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but we actually, both times that we went there, the first time Joe Moxon and his wife Deb and John came with us, and there was people were getting ill. Katie was ill. She was sitting down in the little, I called it the chill room there, the kitchen, and she was ill. She couldn't participate really at all. We put a former member in the body storage room. We were doing an SD session, and she freaked out. We have it on video. It might be on the YouTube, to the point to where Marcus had to actually go in there and take her upstairs because she was freaking out.
Wow.
And Evan, which you guys got to meet Evan at Hinsdale last year.
Yep.
Me and him were upstairs. So there's this rumor or this tale, I don't know what you want to call it, about this this malevolent energy, the Moniarch, I think is what they called her, on the 3rd floor of that building. And we were up there, I wouldn't say trying to provoke it, but we were being pretty persuasive, we were insisting on trying to get some kind of response. And the craziest thing was, they put me up there in that room with a blindfold to do an Estes, and they were underneath me on the 2nd floor, and you can hear it on the audio recording. I wish I had it. I'd play it for you guys, but I don't have it on this computer. You heard this. So I was spaced out, man. Like I said, I'm not eccentric. I'm not one of these people that do things like that. Dude, my chair was spun. And they came and pulled me out. I started facing the corner. When I took the blindfold off, my chair was spun and I was facing out. And Katie and Evan come and got me out of this. And I really didn't have much recollection of it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, dude, you're full of shit. And if I was on that end of it, I would probably think the same thing. But at the end of the day, it was the craziest thing that I've experienced anywhere that we've been. And after all of that, as we were walking down the steps to leave, and Marcus actually had it on the camera from Greenville, I got it on a hard drive somewhere. They opened the door. The door was not on a spring. It didn't have a cylinder or anything like that to pull it closed. They opened the door. I turn around. I start walking down. I go to set a case down on the floor to turn around and pull the door closed because I had a case in my other hand. That freaking door slammed in my face hard, hard enough to where Marcus thought somebody broke something or fell or something crazy was going on, And I've always, not anymore, but in the beginning, I was really skeptical on a lot of things. And over the course of time, that has changed due to experiences and things of that regard. But yeah, man, I would have to say Greenville Manor. Obviously Hallvue is crazy active. Hinsdale, great places. All these places that we have been are great. It's a real shame that we can't get into Greenville, at least for the time being, anymore.
Somebody said that it's opening back up.
I
haven't looked into it, but I've heard that.
We went, I forget where we went. Every time I drive through Greenville, I stop there, just hoping that somebody's there. All right. Katie gets mad. She's like, they're going to freaking call the cops on you. Like, I'll go up and I'm knocking on the door. Like, I forget where we went, but I was like, let's just stop by for a second, man. And then, so I'm knocking on the door and I'm like peeking around through windows. Like, I left a card. No one ever called. So I talked to Greg Nicholas and I was like, dude, who can I get in contact with about getting into Greenville? And he told me. So I messaged this guy and he's like, you got to fill out an application. We have applications on our website. So I went on looking for the application. I could never find it. I messaged him back again with no reply, but we seen it on that World's Scariest House or whatever it was. It was a TV show. And it looks like they really fixed it up to like a bed and breakfast of sorts or something. Like it, they really cleaned it up and did it. Not that Katie and Marcus didn't, because they really did do a lot of work to that place. But yeah, dude, if you ever hear of an opportunity to get in there, I really don't care how much it would cost. I'd figure it out because that place is just off the hook, man. It's so cool. And it's a shame, you know, that we can't get in there. It's going to come back around, I hope, you know, because money talks when it comes to these places, you know. But it depends too on the owners and what they want to do with the place, and what their anticipation is for the future, whether they keep it or sell it or whatever. But yeah, dude, definitely Greenville, absolutely.
Well, now Deborah wants to know what you have coming up in the future that you're looking forward to.
Obviously this weekend. I think this weekend is going to kick ass. Like good weather, bad weather. I think it's going to be really nice to have what I call like the original crew back together. Just have everybody get together for a good reason. We got the stuff in the fall with you guys. We have some local stuff that I do because I love free investigations. I think we all do. I love the local aspect of folklore. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Snyder Cemetery or any of the lost cemeteries of Moraine State Park. It's really cool, man. I'd love to take you guys up there sometime. It's close to us. It's free. Snyder Cemetery is the most popular one. It's the biggest of the, I think there's 4. Yeah, there's 4 of them. It's the biggest of the 4. It's a really, there's no cell service. There's no going live. There's no nothing. Like, it takes you back to a very primitive form of investigating. And there's lots of folklore about cryptids and things in those woods and glowing eyes and all this stuff. I've never seen any of that, but we have had some great activity down there. There's a smaller one about 4 or 5 miles from there, and there's an unknown soldier laid to rest. It's a real little cemetery, and like if you're going to these places, you have to have a truck or an SUV or something that sits a little higher up because the road is very rough and it's kind of hard to get through there in a car. We went up there and I think, I think it was Meg, maybe it was Tattoo. One of them had their car and they were like scraping as we were going up the road. But the Lost Cemeteries of Moraine is awesome. And getting back to what I was telling you earlier, the legend of the Lady in White, Summit Cut Bridge, Big Beaver, PA. So the legend has it that back in the 20s, there was a vehicle accident there. This lady, it was obviously an old style vehicle. The car went off. Now there has been 15 confirmed suicides there. I know, just being a fireman for the time that I was, we actually picked 3 people up that jumped off that bridge. There's just something crazy eerie about that area. And when you dig into the history of it a little bit, there's a lot of conflicting stories of this lady, and then a lot of people who were like, because they literally dug a canyon through. That's why it's called Summit Cut, because they cut through a mountain basically to put this train track through. And a lot of the rail workers and stuff like that injured, fatalities. There's just a lot of death involved with that general vicinity. We're going to be doing that. And like I said, there's a few things that we're still in the works that I want to get together, but obviously in October, we're going to be heading to Monroe in Indiana. You guys are coming. That's going to kick ass. Yeah. We were supposed to do that. We went to Indiana last year and we did the State House. We were supposed, it was right after Brian's memorial that we did for him. You guys were heading to Post Town, I think, and we were heading to Indiana. And we went and did the State House, and we were supposed to do Monroe, but April was sick and things just didn't work out. So we had to take a rain check. So we're heading back down there. Obviously Hinsdale in November. We always try to go. And I was going to talk to you guys about that. Like, since it's November, maybe we should get a turkey or something. I can't remember if there's a stove there, but maybe like even a big roaster. Like, if you cook the turkey, I always wondered, like, I had this thing that I used to do back in the day. I would go to cemeteries and I would walk through and I would find, this sounds a little bizarre, but I was like a cemetery enthusiast. This is what me and Katie would do for our date nights, would be go walk through cemeteries. But I would look at headstones and I would find headstones of couples, married couples, and I would look at the year ranges. Okay. And I would say, oh, look, both of these folks passed away in 1970. And so just on a whim, I would say, okay, they were, X age. They probably got married roughly around this time. And I would try to play music that would align with that time period of something that maybe they listened to at their wedding or like something like that. And I was trying to call it like manifestation through music, like maybe something like that would, because let's face it, how many people out there today, when it comes to this stuff, it's always scary and bad. Okay. I feel like the paranormal could also be like love. Like I said about grandma coming in and saying, hey, I'm still here for you. Or a wife and a husband, like being able to manifest energy through a song that they both loved. Like good interaction, good paranormal exposure, things like that. Not, oh my God, this is a demon, or this is, evil entity, or like, no negativity, but good. So,
yeah,
we did try to do a lot of stuff like that, just to kind of mix it up a little bit. But that's like Grandview Cemetery. Everybody knows Charlie No Face. Everybody's heard of Charlie No Face. That's actually where he's laid to rest, is Grandview Cemetery in Big Beaver, PA. And we swing up there quite frequently. Katie's dad is buried up there, so we'll go up there and rake the leaves and weed whack and stuff like that and keep it looking nice for him. But we'll walk around too, because it's just such a unique place. And obviously all the stories of him, which I've come to learn from the guys at the firehouse, that he was actually a great dude. He wasn't scary at all, and he could drink a lot of beer. He could drink a lot of beer, man.
My hero.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I'm sure I'm missing something. I don't have anything up here to look at. I should have had a schedule with me, but we're going to be bouncing around. But if anybody's ever looking, obviously to collab or get something together, or if somebody cancels and you need somebody to fill in, feel free to reach out. Like, if I typically get my daughter every other weekend, so it makes it a little tough sometimes. But if we can, I'm down, like to go places and do things, and I'm not afraid to drive or throw out a little bit of cash when you have to,
Yep. No,
But
I agree with you. That's the way we are. If somebody's got a need somebody in an emergency, we're here.
yeah, right, absolutely. So, but yeah, I mean, well, I think that's probably about it. Like I said, we're going to be at FCI Con, we'll be at MadCon. Um, we're going to make our way to Gettysburg. I plan on coming up to the Creep It Real thing and checking you guys out and just hanging out and experiencing the festival. I know that Nicole and Dave's going to be up there. You guys are going to be there. There's going to be so many cool people. But
it should be a really good time.
Obviously, the one that I've left out until this point is going to be the festival in Johnstown that, we're doing this year with you guys. Big shout out to Bill Rigby and everybody involved setting that up. That's going to be a great time, and I'm looking forward to the investigation aspect, but I'm looking forward to the whole thing, like just hanging out for a couple days, getting to see Bill again and his crazy self.
For sure.
And it's such a cool event because it's so well-rounded. Like it doesn't lean in any one specific direction. Like you can really conversate with a lot of different people that are like, it's all paranormal, but it's not just all ghost hunting. It's not just all, location people like, coming to promote their location. Like you got all the Bigfoot stuff, the cryptid stuff, the aliens. The last one we did in not Johnstown, but the last Penn, Ohio one he did. Man, I was talking to this one guy. I wish I could remember his name. But he had a freaking map, and it had like push pins for all the UFO sightings around the area. So it was really cool to see somebody that tracks that kind of stuff. And
that's some dedication right there, man.
Yeah. That's a lot of traveling and a lot of that's a lot of legwork, man. It's a lot different than throwing your gear in the car and going and setting up for the night in the house. Like those guys, they really get into it. They hike out into the woods, and I mean it's crazy. But I'm definitely looking forward to that. Obviously, working with you guys and doing that, trying to help those guys out and make that event a success. So anybody that's listening or watches this later on, man, come out and hang out with us. The Verona guys are going to be there. Obviously, we're going to be there, but there's going to be so many cool people and so many great vendors that it's going to kick ass. And we're going to get together with you guys at some point here, and we're going to figure out something special and unique and different and fun to do that night to kind of mix it up. And like, obviously we work good together. So I feel like it's going to turn out really good. Yep.
So if you guys don't know, Bill Rigby reached out to Matt and asked him if he would do lead the public investigation that night. He's like, yeah, I would love to, but there's only two of us, so we need some help.
Yeah.
And so Matt's like, hey, how about you get the Verona guys to come out? And so then Bill called us, and I'm like, really? You want us to do that? He's like, yeah, I can't think of anybody better. You guys would be great with Matt. And I'm like, I can't say no to that. We are in.
Yeah.
And so it really is a big honor to be asked to do something like this. And I think it's just, if you do things the right way, treat people the way that you want to be treated and be authentic, people are going to respect you and they're going to want you to be around them. And that's, to me, that's what we're about. I told you when Brian passed away, we heard this is when the funeral is. We stopped everything and we drove to the funeral. Pink shirts, and I called my sister. I'm like, I need some pink shirts.
Yeah.
Brian wanted people to wear pink. We're wearing pink. And so we stopped and got the pink shirts and we went. Our friends from Southern Ohio, Travis and his wife have a little boy. They have a little girl and a little boy. But the little boy is a brand new baby. He's in the hospital. He's having some types of seizures. I reached out to him and I said, Travis, man, I'm really sorry. Is there anything we can do for you? And he said to me last week, he's like, from the moment you reach, because I only knew him because we did a podcast together with Ryan from Trap Souls. He's like, the moment you reached out to me and asked me if there's anything you could do for me for my little boy, he said, that right there, I knew what kind of people you were. He said, and I just want to be around you guys. So, yes, we're in this to find out what the paranormal is about and to prove what we can prove. But at the end of the day, you still got to be humans and you still got to treat people with dignity and respect. And when you go into these places, you have to treat these spirits the same way.
Right.
You have to give them dignity and respect. You can't go in there and be an asshole and expect to get something good from you, right? So that's how we look at it, is that we treat everybody the way we want to be treated. And most people respect it. We've had a couple issues here and there, but we are always true to ourselves, and we don't pretend to be something we're not. We're
Right.
authentic in everything we do, and I think that is why we become friends with you guys. We become friends with Damien and Jennifer. We become friends with Danny and Jim from Steel City, with the ladies from the Doss House. I mean, I can go on and on with all these friends, Travis and Justin from Sobs. I mean, it's because of who they are and who you are, and you treat people the way that you want to be treated. You're going to have a lot more success. We have this. This is crazy to me. Our Facebook page this week, we're probably going to break 7,000 followers.
I know, that's awesome, man.
I can't. First of all, we don't go out ever asking for followers. I don't do that. Now, if somebody tags me, I'll go and tag all my friends.
Right.
And hopefully people that aren't following them will follow them. But I never go out and ask for follows. If you want to follow me, follow me. Cool. We don't make any money off Facebook, right? We make a couple dollars off the subscriptions, but then everybody that's a subscriber, pretty much all three of them got T-shirts already. So we're giving away more than we're gonna get.
Right.
We want to do this, and we want to share this however long we can. But the people we meet, Deborah just said, lifelong friends for sure. That's what we want. We want to have lasting relationships with people and to do things the right way. And I think that you're going to get a lot farther just doing that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's, I mean, again, like you said about the one fella and his little boy, if you look at the community in a whole, I would have to say 80% of people are probably pretty caring and are gonna, but you do have the 20%, but that's the same anywhere. That's the same with life. Like there's always the 20%, 10%, 5%. But the cool thing about it is, and my opinion, the unique thing about what you guys do is, and if there's anybody that watches or anything like that that's never actually met these guys, they're the same people in person that you see on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh, we get on here and play this and then act this way. Like, no, this is genuinely who these guys are. And I try to be the same way. Like I said, we've been through stuff and me personally, I've learned, you know what I mean? And you figure that out, but some people don't. Some people don't figure it out, and it keeps going, and it keeps escalating. And that's where one of the things I love the most that Deb says is, and you do as well, is leave your freaking ego at the door, because, and that's facts. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing beyond ego. That's what it is, and that's what I've learned personally, and that's one of the best things you can learn, not only for paranormal or anything of that, just for life
in general. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just, you know what I mean? That's so cool. And you guys showed me that throughout everything, like I said, especially with Brian and everything that went into that. And I really learned a lot. And I'm happy about where we're at. Like, at where everybody's at, and the fact that like your Facebook numbers are growing and all of these teams are reaching out, that's something to hang your hat on, man. And you should be proud of that, because It's hard to do, for one. And it's even harder to do it with just being an authentic person and not having a gimmick, not having some rhyme or reason. I know a lot of people buy followers. A lot of people spend money for all of this stuff. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Love you, Mark. Love you, Mark.
Oh, look, so does Molly. Look, back here. Look, she's saying, "Hey, Mark."
Oh, check her out.
He's at the bar, so I guess he's not having no haterade tonight. That's all right, though.
He's at work, or he's away for work.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's in Indianapolis.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in, Mark. Man, I hope everything's going good for you out there, buddy. Absolutely. I look forward to seeing him again, man. I always had a good time. We had a good time at any Madison, Hinsdale, any of the time that I've worked with Mark. I've had a good time.
Matt, you have to give yourself a lot of credit for that too, because you are honestly one of the coolest, most caring friends. You knew Brian longer than us, and you busted your ass to set up the whole benefit at Madison. And I don't think we ever told you how much we appreciate you putting in so much work.
Oh, no.
Look, you did it for Brian, but you did it for all of us. I mean, we helped out a little bit, but man, you did that, and that's something that you should be proud of.
I appreciate you guys saying that, and I am. It turned out great. It was, we were able to raise a little bit of loot, but at the end of the day, just hanging out with his kids and his family and having everybody together, like literally, like I'm not going to get into the extent of everything, but you had April and the Savage Energy people up there who were there for Brian. And anybody that knows us knows that we all haven't had the greatest relationship. I mean, that's just the way that it is. But it was so cool. Everybody came and everybody like had a great time, and it was just awesome. But I appreciate that. And you know what? You guys did, though. You really did. Step up and really helped me out and personally, because that's hard to do on your own, to get all that stuff together.
Yeah, it is.
And you guys did so much with the shirts and with the contributions and being there and taking people around, and it was just, I don't feel like I did that. I appreciate the compliment, and that was all for Brian, and we love Brian. And but you guys and Megan and everybody that came made that happen. And if I have to give one person all the props for that, it's going to be Adam, for letting us use that venue at absolutely no cost. Just, man, in this field today, you don't see that. Like, there's nobody
does that.
And that right there is like, that's why I'm going to FCI Con 6. That's why I'm going to MadCon 9, because that's the least I can do. And not that it's ridiculously cheap, $25 for a table. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Not that my $25 makes a whole lot of difference, but you know what?
At the end of the day, it helps get stuff done. So yeah, $25 does help.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a great thing, man. That was so cool, and I missed that night. I do. And he was literally
it was amazing
there with us. Like he was literally there with us, and it was cool. And his kids are great. But no, I appreciate it. I do. And it's, like I said, it's the first of many. We're doing it again this year, much lower scale, much different, but we're still doing it, and we'll continue it.
Yeah.
As long as we're all still breathing and walking, I'm sure that one of us, if not Rhonda, you guys or us, we'll get stuff together.
Absolutely.
But so I mean, like I said, with the Johnstown thing, man. So I was really excited, for Bill to ask us, but I don't know you guys know, but a lot of people might not know. Two of our founding people, Mike and Elise, she's actually pregnant and she's due to give birth, I think in July or August or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, without Mike and Elise, I'm not even sure with them, I probably still would have asked for you guys, but I was like, how are we going to do this? Like there's just no way. Like, I don't know how we're going to do this, man. And I was like, Bill, dude, what about Deb and Nacho? And he was like, that's a great idea. He's like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, cool, but like you guys, I wouldn't have anybody else. And that's no disrespect towards anybody, because I love everybody that we work with. But it's going to be really cool because you guys are good with people. I'm not always so good with people. I'm kind of, outspoken in some ways and not real good, but you guys are good with people. And I think it's going to turn out really, really awesome. But thank you guys so much for doing that and for hanging out with us that night. That I'm super stoked, man. That's going to kick. So
I think it'll be a blast.
Yeah. But
absolutely.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, like I said, we'll just keep trucking forward here and rolling with the punches. And I appreciate you having me on. I'm not good at podcasts. I'm not good with
you have been marvelous. I haven't done that shit. You just went with it. I mean,
dude, I
made my job so easy.
I'm not a big, like, I hate being on camera. Like, I wish I was pretty. Okay, I wish I was pretty, and that's like when it comes to being a content creator. I see a lot of this online. I'm horrible with it because I cannot turn the camera onto myself and like do that. Like that takes a special person to be able to do that. I'm no good at that, but I love the opportunity and get on here to talk, and especially talk about Brian and talk about the history that these two teams have. It's crazy cool and it's awesome. And then I see it scrolling down here on the bottom. May 26th, you're going to have Damien and Jennifer from 27 Spirits on. So I encourage everybody to tune back in and check those guys out because they're doing some great stuff. I seen they got some new gear out there, and check out their YouTubes and social medias.
There's a content creator for you. That guy can put together some videos.
Yeah, he's good at it. He's good, man.
Or maybe Jennifer's doing it and he's taking all the profit. But either way, it's excellent.
Yeah. Well, that could be. I don't know. All I say is I seen a picture of him on Facebook the other day in a shiny, flashy jacket there with some paparazzis, and I was thinking, holy shit, he just gets signed on like some network stuff or something, man. Like, and then I got to remind myself,
he's taking over for Zach Bagans.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Hey, hanging out with Nick Groff and the boys. Hey, go for it.
Hope he doesn't forget his little friends as he goes big time,
Yeah, that's right. That's that. Hey, don't forget about these little backwoods Pittsburgh boys out here, man. I know. Wait, they're out of like Punxsutawney or something, right? Like up that way?
Yep, out that way.
So you guys are even more country than me. So I tip my cap to you guys. That's awesome. I've camped up there a few times. When I was little, my son's mother, her grandparents lived in Punxsutawney, and we camped in a tent, and this freaking bear, man, came out, and it was rummaging through our cooler, and all I had was this little snub-nosed 38 like that. I was like, she's like, oh, you got the gun. I'm like, if I shoot a bear with this thing, all it's going to do is piss it off.
Piss it off.
You know what I mean? But boy, that is country out there. That is, it's cool though. I like it, man. I love the country. I love, I know I put a thing on there yesterday about where did the cowboy shit come from, because I don't wear cowboy hats. I don't wear cowboy boots. I like none of that stuff, but I love it. I love the look of it, the ideal of it. My granddad was a cowboy, but I never really got into the boots and the hats and the nut huggers and things like that, But I love that. So props to those guys for up there in bear territory. That's crazy up there.
He's actually from Southside.
Really? Who Damien is?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So that makes more sense. So he's out there in uncharted territory dealing with the wildlife.
He said, Southside for life, homie.
That's crazy. You know what? That does make sense. Okay. That's cool, though. You know what I mean? Get you out of your element a little bit, man. The older you get, the more you like the peace and quiet of nature.
Oh, man.
So
yeah, I'm telling you. Well, I have this crazy idea for probably not next week, but maybe the week after. Since we're just going to be fresh off of a investigation, I think we get you to come back on, we get Megan to come back on, and get Brian's dad to come on with us, and we can wrap about how the Octagon worked out.
Dude, yeah, I'm down. That would be great. That'd be awesome.
I'll look at my calendar and see what I can find. Find us a date and see if we can all hook up to it. But I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
we can maybe get a little evidence together and throw it up or whatever. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but if we can come up with a few things and nothing else, we'll just sit and talk about it. But I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that, dude. Glenn's awesome. Meg's awesome. And obviously those are two people that know Brian better than anybody else.
Yeah.
The situation was crazy with him and Meg, but at the end of the day, I can tell you, I spent a lot of time with Brian sitting at a table at conventions for 6-8 hours, and all you have to do is talk. And I learned so much, and just he loved her like there was no tomorrow, and I know she loved him, and that I'm looking forward to this weekend, and that would be great. That'd be really.
I think we'll talk about it over the weekend while we're there, and see if we can come up with some dates, and I think that would be awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. So I know we're getting close to the timer here. I just want to throw out there, I know that the Verona people, guys, I say the Verona people, you're sitting right there. They got some new stickers in, guys, and they were nice enough to send us some. Check them out. They got the Other Side of Normal stickers, and they got a new Verona Ghost sticker as well. They're really cool. My cases are downstairs, or I'd show you. But if anybody
follow me, they've seen them all.
Yeah, dude. But if anybody wants to, do the sticker trade, we're always down for that. We're getting some new stickers in, and I'll, send me an address or whatever. I'll send some out if anybody wants any. And with every sticker you get, I know I gave Nacho one already, a complimentary American flag pin. We just got a bunch more of these guys in. So if you're like us, and look, he still got it. Yeah, dude. You wouldn't believe, you wouldn't believe, and I know you're like me in that regard. You are a veteran and you served, and you're a patriot and all of those sorts of things. But dude, we caught so much shit for the American flag stuff, and like I said I call it our Gettysburg shirt. Oh, it simply is just an American flag with our cowboy skull dude in the center of it. And man, we were getting Snickers and snarls, and I think it was FCI last year. I flew an American flag at our tent, and that did not go over very well. And I just want to put it out here while I got a chance to talk where somebody might hear. I freaking love my country. Okay, I love my flag. My grandfather was a Marine. I'm a very patriotic person. None of that is politically motivated. I don't care what side, Republican, Democrat, none of that crap matters to me. Like when
they all suck.
Yeah, I mean facts, and that's the truth of it. It really is. That's the truth of it. When I pushed a flag or I pushed any type of patriotism. It's for people like Nacho or Brian or my grandfather or everybody else's grandparents, fathers, brothers, sons, cousins, nieces, daughters, whatever. They strapped that uniform on and went over and fought for the place that I love. And I'm very passionate about that. And that's a dying thing. You don't see that a lot anymore. But so if you guys see the American flag stuff with our stuff, it has nothing to do with Trump or this one or that one. It just simply has to do with our respect for veterans, for people that fought, and for the country. And it's like I tell everybody, that flag don't represent some greedy politician that has gotten rich from this. And I don't want to get into that on this type of platform, but it just simply is my way of showing respect to veterans and the fact that I freaking love the United States of America. And unpopular opinion, I still think that we're the greatest country in the world, and I always will. And that's just simply that. And you don't have to agree with me, but you know, I borderline got some comments of like bigot type stuff because over an American flag. If anybody looks at the American flag and thinks of something like that, they're the ones with the issue. Yeah,
they've got problems.
You know, not us. So I just the pin made me think about that, and I wanted to say something about that because I'm usually pretty quiet when we're out and about and we're doing shows or we're doing this and that. I try to mind my P's and Q's and not upset the herd, so to speak. But if I have an opportunity to say it, I just wanted to say that, man. So God bless United States. Yeah. Oh, thank you.
That's beautiful, Matt.
Oh, that's nice. No, seriously, I appreciate it because it's a lost thing, and you know, like I said, my granddad fought in Japan in World War II, and he never talked about the war, but he's seen some stuff. All those guys seen some stuff, man, and that's what I always go back to. We all have our own thing that makes something special to us or whatever. And I never got the opportunity to serve, although I tried to enlist a couple times. There were health reasons that kind of prevented me from doing so, but I never lost that. And I hope more people can find it, including my son, who's 17 years old and cocky and simple-minded, to say the least. But you know, he thinks I'm crazy. You know, he says I'm old-fashioned. He says, "Dad, you're just like Andrew Tate." I said, "Except I ain't got his money or his good looks. I don't know." You know what I'm saying?
I'm exactly like him, but completely different.
Yeah, exactly. But
shoot.
So, but yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for having me on and giving me an opportunity to blabber and talk a little bit about Hallowvue and where we come from and how weird we are. And it's been a blast.
Really good. I enjoyed it. And, you know, even if nobody else enjoys it, as long as I enjoy it, I'm good.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
This is, you know, Deb always says, stop talking about this and that and ask them questions. But this is our time to relate about stories and things. And if it's somebody that I don't know, it's my opportunity to get to know them, for them to get to know me. So it's a conversation. It's not I'm going to ask you questions and you're going to answer it all. And we're going to talk about a lot of different things. And it's just the way that this podcast has developed. It's not an interview. It's just a sit down and we're going to talk about whatever the hell we're going to talk about. I don't come in with a script. I take notes as we're talking because there's things that I want to remember for later, but I don't come up with any preconceived questions. I like for the audience to ask questions, and I think they did a pretty good job today.
Absolutely.
But their interactions on it is what counts. But this is all about meeting people and introducing people to other people.
Yeah.
And that's my goal in this, is for everybody that I bring on. I want the people that follow us to get to know these people so they go follow you, because the more paranormal groups they watch, just like the more groups I work with, the more I learn. The more
Right.
groups you watch and the more groups you follow, the more you're going to learn. And
Right.
Jennifer, the name of the cigar, I don't know. It's a unbanded brand, and I bought a pack of 20 of them. So there, I don't know what the name of it was. She always asked me the name of my cigar. But you see how fast I smoked that cigar tonight was because I didn't have to ask questions. Everybody else did, and Matt just rolled with it. So
yeah. I mean, no, dude. Like sometimes you got to tell me to shut up because I like my brain goes and I start thinking, I start talking. A lot of times I don't think before I talk, and that's what usually gets me in trouble. But no, tonight it was cool, and I like the way you run it. Like I understand what that's saying. Oh no, Black and Mild, the wine ones, man, with the wood tip. I've had a few of those. Those ones you smoke are expensive though, dude. My boss smokes them big old like Cuban stogies, man.
Well, these aren't like what I was smoking tonight. I bought a pack of 20 of them, and they were probably like $3 or $4 a piece.
That's not bad.
Some of them I have are like a $10 or $15 cigar, but I don't smoke them a lot. But yeah, I mean, I like a good cigar, but sometimes you got to be frugal, right? I mean, you can't eat caviar all the time. Sometimes you got to eat PB&J.
That's right. Oh, dude, that's my favorite. I love PB&J.
I love PB&J.
That's. But I mean, that's the world, dude. When you're paying $5 a gallon for gas, you got to cut things down somewhere, you know.
We just drove through when we left Felicity, Ohio last Thursday. We decided we were going to go to that Hillbilly Hot Dogs over in West Virginia.
That's awesome.
And so we left Ohio and we went through Kentucky to get to West Virginia. And the little bit we went through Kentucky had gas for $3.99 a gallon.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, we're almost $5. Well, then we went into West Virginia. We had already gotten gas. We went into West Virginia, and it was time to get gas again. Like, we're going to get gas to make sure we got enough to get home. And when we stopped, we got off the highway, and I was going to go to this gas station right there. I don't know, it was B&L or something. I don't know. I couldn't turn into it because there's so much traffic.
Wow.
Let's just keep driving. We'll find something else. I ran into a Walmart down there that sold gas. It was $4.08. Wow. And I'm like, I'm doing it up. I'm filling it up.
Well, yeah, I don't blame you. That is like, dude, there's that little store right beside West Virginia Penitentiary. Last time we were down there, went over to grab a pack of smokes, and it's great. Like, you can get Marlboro cigarettes down there for like $6, $7 a pack. Up here, they're $12, $13 a pack.
Wow.
It's nuts.
Texas.
Yeah, PA is horrible with that, dude. They're really bad. And that's why we pay so much for fuel. That's why we pay so much for everything. Good old PA. Gotta love it. Yep.
All right. We will see you this weekend.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thanks everybody for tuning in and checking us out. We look forward to seeing all you guys out and about this year. So thanks so much. And
don't take off. Hang around.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
But you got to listen to my next song because the last song's even better.
Yeah, it's gonna jam, dude. I can't wait.
All right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you. Thank you for spending your time with us.
Yes.
That to me is awesome. Have a great night.
Take care, guys.
You're not alone. Midnight signal breaking through the noise. Shadows got a voice. You don't got a choice. We dive in.